Things wealthy people do that you can too. Hi, my name is Angie and I'm going to help you transform your life and become the best version of yourself. Grab yourself a drink and let's get started. Just a quick disclaimer before we start. Societies back in the days, in the 50s, they were all having class and manners. And that is something that stayed with people with generational wealth. It started to fade out with society and with the change that happened when everyone became an employee and was asked to not pay attention to these details, but always go to work, go to work, go to work, give, perform, give, perform. And we changed into this industrial society. Not saying that is a bad thing, but some of these manners, some of these things, we could look at them, reflect, and if we want to transform our lives, this could be a place for us to start. So let me tell you some of these things. Some of these things, I know them because I grew up with my family with these things as normalities, and I did not know that that is not normal for many people. My family is comfortable, so that's why I knew about these things, but I think they are adaptable. And now that I live across another country and I'm starting my own family, I want to impose these things too. And here I don't have the amount of money that my family had, but I can definitely bring that with me and keep the class and mannerism. And that is what I promote in this video. First of all, ditch your paper napkins. The rich use only linen napkins. They have several ones for every occasion. They have them all 100% cotton and they get washed. Mostly, they definitely have the daily set, which is the white one, which could be washed on a high degree to actually sanitize it. But this is something that is very common with families of wealth because they value tradition and they always spend good money on things and they want them to last. So quality over quantity. And the idea of things being thrown out, like thrown out forks, thrown out spoons, thrown out napkins. No, linen napkins, you guys. Another thing is a wrapping corner, wrapping room, or a wrapping box somewhere in the apartment. This is something especially my grandmother made so clear. We had a sofa that was common, I think, in the 50s. The sofas that had a wooden lid which opens to the top and it has things in it. Wrapping rooms or wrapping areas or corners in the home are something wealthy families have. Of course, wealthy families have big homes, so they could have an entire room dedicated for that. And this is exactly what they do assess this room for. They assess this room not only for gift paper or gift bags, but also some assortment of gifts. Because if you're invited, and they usually entertain and get entertained at other people's places too, if they get invited at any time to visit somebody, they should not feel the urge that, oh, I will just go like that. No, they have to take something with them. And usually the convenience is you have a set of things, you buy them in bulk and you keep them in case you're going to somebody. What could be one of these things? Wine bottles are something very popular, ones to be gifted. Also some gift cards, an assortment of gift cards, like gift card for a beauty gift card for Sephora or something like that, just as an example. But gift cards in general, some toys for kids, a couple of gift sets with perfumes or things like that. Just have in this corner most of the things that you could gift and what you could wrap the gift with. Something else people who are wealthy do is hosting gifts. When they host a party, it's very common to give your attendees gifts. This has been also common in my family. We always have in the entrance of our home like a table with something, a memorable for the event. Let's say if it's a Christmas party, it's a Christmas gift. And on birthdays, when I was a kid, it was different. We didn't give away things like that. It was always a game, so it was very much fun. This game was simply as putting many gifts on one side and we mark them with numbers, and then we get a ball with so many small ping pong balls with the numbers, and every kid would pick one of the numbers to see which gift this matches with. And that has always been fun when I was a kid. It made me look forward to actually meet the community, meet my friends, have entertaining parties. And I think this is something that is not so common, but wealthy families do give away gifts for hosting. Seasonal decor, however, this has been more and more common these days with the propaganda behind Christmas. So families that are wealthy, they are, as I said, entertaining most of the time. So they have for every seasonal time some decorations. So for Christmas they would have, for Easter they would have, and for New Year's they would have a different decoration. They would even hire decorators to come and switch the home. And they usually have a room where they keep all of that very organized to be able to use it again. Because again, quality over quantity, to be able that the shelf life of the item lives for long, which is a very good concept. Next is customizable invitations. Every wealthy family has a stamp of the family. Either it's with the initials of the great-grandparents or the parents, depends, or it is with the family emblem if they have one. And this is always the case. They would make their own custom-made papers with their name on it, and these papers would be used to send letters or send invitations and make it customizable. Actually, this was also something from my grandmother. I would see the letters my grandfather sent to her. They were always on this custom-made cards that they made with their names on it. And that is something rare, but only families that care about this detail and represent themselves as a family, they do. And I really think it's such a thing to enhance and implement. Annual fixed trips. Yes, so the ski trip, the south of France trip, the Saint Moritz trip, every family has a set of trips that are happening annually, and it is kind of a routine thing that they go through. This is something beautiful. It also differs from one country to the other. In my country, it's people going to the North Coast, to the beach, or flying at least once to Europe to do a Euro trip. So this is depending on the family, but that it's always there. There is a fixed trip that happens annually with activities that could connect the family. Of course, with that mentioned, there is always a vacation home. So most of the wealthy people, they buy an extra home in a destination they appreciate, and they do their fixed annual trip too. And that's why it's for them the best idea to have a fixed vacation home where they decorate for the vacation and the entire family enjoys the vacation together. Another thing the wealthy people do is they dedicate extra rooms for hobbies or wellness and health. Some of them, if they do not have a specific painting room, sewing room, or a room for exercise in general, they would have maybe a sauna or a golf simulator room or a cinema room. There is always a room for a purpose, a hobby. And this is why do they have this? Because they usually have a very busy schedule. They also appreciate privacy, and having a dedicated room for that is important. Of course, living in such an economy, I do not expect everyone to have a big house where they could afford a room like that. For example, we don't, but we made a room, half of it our hobby room, where I have my sewing corner and my husband has his 3D printer and CNC machine corner. But this is at the same time, a corner of it is my husband's office and another corner is the guest bedroom. So you make it work, but dedicating these things in your home makes your home more inviting and makes you more accessible to do things rather than just sitting on your phone or your laptop and not integrating and doing something beneficial at home. An area for someone to come and glamify the ladies. This is something very common also in my country, and I realize that it is also common with wealthy people generally. In Europe and celebrities, they would have a dedicated room, or at least the vanity in the closet or in the bedroom, in that case, would be possibly roomy, because they expect when there is an event, a makeup artist will come, a hairdresser will come and get them ready. This is very common in at least my circle back home. At every event, there is a makeup artist that comes to do my makeup. There is a hairdresser that comes to do my hair, and a dedicated area, or at least designing your vanity to be able to put all their things and work all their cables and revolve around you when they're doing their work, is something important. And I think this is something that takes off the weight of, oh my God, what if I mess up before the event, or the stress of having to get ready quickly, because it is planned and someone else comes and helps you. Luggage storage. Luggage is something you store things in, but actually the wealthy people usually take care that luggage is always easily accessible somewhere. They do not stuff their clothes in it that they don't need, or they put things in the basement inside of it. They have a dedicated corner, even if it's in the basement, that is easily reachable, because they fly a lot. And I think this is something we don't do for ourselves. We do not treat things for what they are only. We sometimes mix the purpose of it and it collects dust. And when you're traveling, you need the bag and it looks so ugly that you actually have the urge to go and buy a new one. And I think this would be a much better solution, to have it accessible for the purpose of it and easily usable. Last two items on my list is custom furniture, curtains, all of these things. The wealthy really likes things to be customizable and to have the perfect plan to the room. That's why they hire interior decorators and they hire people to do things for them. I didn't need that when I was moving to my apartment, because I'm a designer, so I could do that to my apartment. However, I have a lot of friends that did this, and you can feel it when you enter their home. Their home is made to fit what they do. Their home has every specific area designed for what it is, and that saved them money. On the contrary to people who tried to mix and match things and go shopping based on the trends, and their area just did not fit them, and it just felt cluttered, or it felt too empty. These are things that the wealthy really take care to get the support in, and I think it makes sense too. Last but not least, panic rooms. Most wealthy people have in their apartments panic rooms where they could hide when there is a breach into their homes. Of course, depends on the level of the wealth. Some more other families, they invest in the security system, the camera system, and that is also helpful, because if you own a lot of expensive things, or you want to take care if something happens, this is the best possible way to do that. I know that sounds like a very long video. Let me know if you'd like to hear more videos in that direction. I know that could not be taken well by some people, but I appreciate the difference in opinion. This could be helpful for some people who are trying to make their life better. That's why I'm trying to share it. However, you do you. If you think you are living happily the way you are, do not take my words. Don't forget to sign up for my Afford the Id Bag book that I am created. I want you to be one of the very first people to get notified when that book launches. And actually that book is done with so much love to share with people how I could afford the It bag from my own salary alone, without any support from anybody. It took me years to figure out a method, and I'm sharing in that book this method and how to get yourself to that stage regardless of your budget or your salary. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.